joined Marymount at a very historic time. He was among the students who came to us when Notre Dame closed, which makes him part of the first cohort of male secondary school students at Marymount. Alessio and his brothers are fondly remembered by our faculty members. They remember Alessio as part of a great group of students who exhibited a wonderful spirit and camaraderie, of always looking out for each other. Alessio graduated from Marymount and went on to Luis University in Rome, where he read law, and from there he became a portfolio manager at the Banque Nationale Paris until 2002, when the initial idea of opening his own business turned into a much stronger calling. We're very pleased to have Mr. Tesciuba here this evening to talk us through the way he took that idea in 2002 and how, by 2013, he was awarded the Cavaliere del Commercio by the Comune di Roma for the most innovative business in Rome. Please help me welcome Alessio Tesciuba.
Thank you everyone. Thanks for coming. Even though it's a good time for aperitivo, I'm glad that you're here. It shows that you care. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank the headmistress that I just saw a few seconds ago for hosting me. It's a great pleasure and honor to be a guest speaker where I was a student. So to be on the opposite side of the... it's very nice, it's very nice. Of course I need to thank Sally, which has done a great work. She can do almost anything except stop snowing in Rome. That she can do, but she's working on it, so at some point... Next year, no problem. It's always good to have new aims and new objectives. And then I want to also thank Vivian Bazzanti. She had the idea also of having me for this speech, and so I think it's a very good opportunity to share with faculty members, students, young students also, sons of my my classmates, so it's nice to see them. And so now I start by explaining what are, in my opinion, the skills to be an entrepreneur and to advance in entrepreneurial life. Okay, we'll start with the presentation. Okay, so this is the idea. Okay, everyone thinks of the bulb. This is the idea that comes up when one morning you wake up and you decide to do a sushi business in Rome, one of the most traditional cuisine in the world. Rome is a very traditional place, you all know that. And so this was the idea. But the idea, as I say, is 10% of the thing. It's not much. Maybe many people think that idea is the most important thing. Idea is just the beginning. It's full of stories of ideas that are not implemented in the right way, and they never become successful. So it's important to have the idea, but it's important to implement it. So the remaining 90% is implementing the plan. Okay. First topic, which is very important. I think it's the most important thing. I put it first because it's the most important thing. Is a sense of sacrifice. Doing business is not easy at all. In certain countries like Italy, it's even more difficult. So definitely we need a lot of sacrifice and hard work, which means that you have to be on top of things from day one, just to make sure that everyone is working the way you want it to work. Okay. Once the idea is in your head, you start implementing it, but there is one risk. There is some people that are overthinking about how do I do this, how can I do it better, and if you're looking always for the better things, you never start. So at some point you make a business plan, you see that the idea may work, and then you start. So don't waste too much time trying to plan, because things happen and things can change. You know, maybe we started with a delivery business and now we have a restaurant business, but we have to be on the move. This is what I just said. Okay. This is one of the most important topics. Follow the startup personally. So never, at the beginning, never say to someone, do it for me, or I tell you the story because it's funny. At the beginning, we were doing a delivery business, so we were sending the sushi directly home to people. We didn't have a restaurant, we didn't have a takeaway service. And so the first deliveries, the first periods, I was going to deliver personally the sushi to the clients. Because I got to know the clients, I understood what they were thinking, what they wanted, and I tried to understand how to target the product. So this part was very important. And the other thing is very important, is that once you do these simple tasks, you will know how to teach other people to do these simple tasks in the right way. So this is very important. And of course, this is a topic which is very important, and never give up. It seems obvious, but it's not so obvious after all, because things can become difficult. Things at the beginning, maybe people can be, not so positive about your idea, or maybe doubting it. So you have to be very strong and have a good character and keep going on. Another good advice that I always give is start small and grow big. Many times, you start with a big project. You want to do a nice thing, like a good business, but the business doing it too big, too quickly, may put you in risk. Okay, and I explain you why. First of all, starting with a small business allows you to learn how your business works, and you fine-tune it at the beginning, because there might be something that a glitch at the beginning, and then you have to solve it yourself. You start small, and then you see if it works. Then, if it works, you make it bigger, larger. Start with very basic tasks. This is what I was doing. I was answering the phone for delivery. I was making deliveries myself. I was doing secretary. I was doing everything. And this was very. At least I knew everything was done the way it was supposed to do. Of course, the chef was Japanese. Was the only employee we had. We had one employee, my brother, and I. That was the starting team. And I couldn't do sushi. It's better that I don't do sushi than I do business. But of course, we had a very good product to start with. And then this is another important topic. If you start small and you make some mistakes at the beginning, these mistakes will be, reserved to a small quantity of people. So you will not burn yourself in a certain way. So this is very important. Once you grow, then you have gained experience and solved the problems, you can enlarge the business, like we did. We started now there will be some explanation of this, but we started with delivery. Then we went into takeaway service, which was very efficient and very successful. And then we moved to restaurant. Starting from restaurant from day one would have been very, very difficult. And very costly also. So it's two different approach. Okay, this is the second topic. This is a picture of in one of our meetings of the employees that we do every year. It's very fun. Of course, once the business grows, you have to build a team. So this is an important topic as well. So you start with a small group of people. Now we're a good number of people in the business, and this is the people that will make the company grow with you, of course. You give direction, and they will do the work the way you think it should be done. It's very important. I don't know if you noticed. Every time you go to a business, also a restaurant or a bar, the people that work in the place represent the owner. So if the owner is not a very nice guy or very strict, it will reflect in the employee. If the owner is a very nice guy, open, cordiale in Italiano, mi viene la parola, sorry for the Italian word, you will see the difference. You will see definitely the difference. It's very important. So what do I look when I find the qualities of people? So the first thing is good values. The person that you hire may not have experience, because it happens. You're not hiring a scientist, you're hiring people that work like waiters, directors of a restaurant, drivers, so you're not. But the most important thing is their background, so their honesty and the respect that they have for the work they do. So this is the basics, because you can have the smartest guy in your company, but if he doesn't respect you, or if his honesty is not there, maybe you better change it. You find someone else, it's better. This is an advice I always give. Positive attitude. Absolutely. You have to always see the glass half full and not half empty. Empty. Sorry. This is a typical thing that everyone says, but it's important. It's not. It's something that is considered very important. And then eager to grow. This is another important aspect, because very often you find people that have no expectancy to grow. They don't want to, they don't want to have challenges. And this is not good for a business that is growing. You have to, we have, for example, I always tell the story of this guy, my wife knows him. He started just maintaining, the basic things, changing the bulbs and stuff like that in the company. In 10 years, he has become he's managing all the production of the company. He has grown, he has done courses, he has studied, he works 10 hours a day. He's a great guy, but he started from nothing. And every day he tells me, thank you, because you have changed my life in this company. So this is very important. Be a leader. This is the funny part. Okay. How do you gain respect of people that work with you? I have an approach. It's my personal approach. I think that people need to respect you and not to fear you. This is, of course, respect encloses many things, but respect you gain in time by seeing that you are always working for the company, and you're concentrated and you're doing the results that you're targeting the results that the company wants. You can't ask people to be something you are not. So you are the first that has to get to time with business. So if you want to be your employees to be on time, you cannot arrive 2 hours later just because you are the boss. So, of course, my life is very, I move around from the office to the restaurants, etc. But I'm always there every day, and I try never to miss one day. Of course, this is another important topic, and I think, honestly, that is important, is to show your people that you care. You care about them, but not only on the business side, but also on the personal side. So I think this is important to create more than a company, a big family. It's very important, I think, as an aspect to see. Always improve. So this is the big topic. This is a thing that I like a lot to say, is that when you're not going forward, you're not standing still, you're going backwards automatically. So you say, you've reached this top, this level, we're very happy. But then, if you stand still, you're slowly moving backwards. So you always have to have new ideas and develop, but develop with the right people. Always look back at what you are doing and try to find ways to improve something. Okay, this is another big topic. For example, recently we have changed completely our website. It was a nice website, but we changed it and we started to do e-commerce at a very efficient level. And now our deliveries, which we always had at the time, have grown in 6 months 30%. Just because it's easier to find, to locate the sushi tray that you like. It's very, it's like Amazon. We've done an Amazon for sushi, and it's very successful. It's something that is so important that we concentrated 6 months to do this website. Okay, this is another topic that Sally, of course, wanted me to have an opinion, and I think it's important. Failure sometimes happens. It's normal. Not every idea goes the way it should be. There may be problems, etc. Of course, from failures you learn. But what I personally say is that it is very important not to fail. Like, you have to try. You don't have to be to have a setback. If you have a setback, you have to start again and try to reach the objective that you have in your mind. Don't surrender to failure. This is very important. It can happen, but don't surrender. Okay, this is our development through the years. So as Sally was saying, we started in 2003 with just delivery service and our sushi chef, one employee. The first takeaway was opened in 2005, and it was a very successful idea. We had practically, instead of going to the houses of people every time, we said, come to our shop in the center and buy sushi trays that were done fresh every day, in morning and evening. So the sushi was always very fresh. After that, we enlarged the production facility and we got the EU certification, meaning that we can sell our product throughout Europe. It's called Pollo Chien. It's also in the meat business, cheese business, everywhere in Europe. Okay. In 2009, we have our first restaurant, which was very difficult to manage. A restaurant is at least 15 to 20 employees, because there is chefs, there is waiters. It's very complicated. But thanks to the experience that we grew at the beginning, we were able to make a very successful restaurant in Eur, Via l'America. It's a very nice area in the south of Rome. Many people living in the north of Rome don't know Eur, but Eur is a very nice area. It's very green, and clients love us there. So it's still the most successful restaurant. In 2011, we did the ISO certification, 9901, and this was a very good choice because we wanted to certify each phase of production. Okay, so everything is written, and the people that are working, that now is a big group of people, know exactly what they have to do in every part of the day. Because of course we're working with a very complicated product. We're not selling pizza, which goes in an oven and everything is okay because it's 300 degrees in the oven. We're working with sushi, which is a raw product. It's sold the way it is, and so you have to be really careful in what you do. 2011 this. 2018, after opening 8 locations, etc., we have this new thing. Okay, we become the market leader in Rome for sushi. We have 8 locations and development coming, and we have surpassed 100 employees last year, and this is 400,000 meals, which is crazy, but it's true, per year, okay. And we have hired this guy. you know Master Chef, Bruno Barbieri. This is me, my brothers, and my son. When we did this event, launching this new partnership with Bruno Barbieri, he has signed a menu for us, and it was very fun, very nice, because he's a very nice and funny guy. And so once we were presenting this event, my son came up and he said, "I'm little Daruma." It was so funny. He's 3 years old. Okay. Sushi is coming in just a few minutes, so you can taste some of our products. But I'm here, I'm open for questions. If you have any inquiries, I'm really happy to have you and to listen to you. Prego.
One of the first things I found about Rome was actually the market is very, very Italian, and I was very surprised to find sushi.
Sushi, exactly.
And I'm just wondering where the idea actually came from.
Okay.
Because you're Italian.
Yeah, of course. I'm Italian and I'm a good eater, so I have Italian food. So my idea came exactly in Paris. It started. I was in Paris traveling. I've traveled a lot until 2001, 2002 to see different things. In the north of Europe, in Paris, in 1999, opened a chain of restaurants called Matsuri. I got to know the owner after a few years. He was a very nice guy. And I found the idea of selling this sushi ready, but very fresh. I was very surprised because they stamped also the time it was produced. Like it was 12, and it was like I was there maybe 1, and I was eating a fresh sushi just made fresh. And I thought it was a great idea. Then I went back to Rome and I started seeing, in Rome there's really almost nothing regarding to sushi. And the other thing is Japanese restaurants, traditional restaurants, are very close to the public. You have to go there, you have to be very silent, at the door you don't see much what happens, you're like, you know, always stuck. Instead, we wanted to make a more open approach to sushi, more young, for younger people. And I thought that this was a very good opportunity, there was a very good opportunity in Rome. And I have to say that I was surprised how much the Roman public responded. It took time, it wasn't super fast, but now only the clients that have signed are registered with us are over 30,000 clients that are registered, that come to us also 3 times a week. Is really impressive. So now Romans love sushi, we can say that. Really.
The sushi's delivered.
Ah, okay. Let's see. I said 5:30, yeah? So, you know, you can complain. Prego, prego.
Where is the name from?
Daruma. Ah, this is a very important thing. Okay. Why Daruma? Okay, let's go back to the log. I think as in the beginning. The Daruma is a monk. Okay, he found. There is not a big sign. He founded the Zen movement, and he's a monk. He's very famous. It's called Daruma. Daruma is the name. Why Daruma? Daruma is a symbol of endurance. Okay, the way it's shaped is small and round. You can never put him down. If you try to push a Daruma, which is a little doll, a red doll, you push it and it goes back up. You push on the other side and it goes back up. What does that mean? That you always have to stand up. What I was saying before. If there is a difficulty, you bend, but then you pop up back. Okay, this is very important. Never, never, never give up.
How did you organise your supply chain? I mean, where did you order your fish from?
Okay.
And how do you guarantee quality on it?
Okay, the fish is a very important. This is also a very funny story, because to believe that we started very small, so we were doing very small quantities of fish, but we knew there was one provider of sushi fish that was the biggest in the center of Italy. It was a very big producer, and the owner of this business, we decided to go meet him and say we want the best fish, because they have the quality of receiving the first arrivals of fish, coming from Italy or coming from Norway or coming from you know, every part of the world. So we went to them saying, you know, we have this idea, we want to start this business, and they said, okay, I trust you. Even if you're a very small client, we will start with you. And so we started, and we have the top suppliers. So the best suppliers in Rome are clients to him. So we have the first choice. And now he's very happy because we're doing good numbers with him. So I think he was a very good, shrewd entrepreneur, because you know. And so this is the way we get the best product. Technically speaking, how do you ensure that the product is always fresh? There is, of course, checks with analisi di laboratorio. Adesso non mi viene la parola. Come si vuol dire?
Test from a lab.
Yeah, test from lab. Okay, this is very important. So, the companies that produce, for example, that sell the salmon, they do their tests. Then it arrives to us and we do our testing. So everything is controlled in every step of the way. And once we produce the fish and we send it to our restaurants, there is an etiquette, a label for everything, so that we know exactly that fish, in what day arrived, what day was abbattuto, meaning frozen. And I mean, we know everything about this. It's called this is, I'm sorry, I don't have the English words for it. It's called the rintracciabilità. So having the ability to find in every step the tracing, exactly, tracing it in every aspect. This is very important. Of course, it's our reputation, you know, and so we like it to make it, you know, the way it should be. Prego.
Do you think that the fact that you went to international schools and the Marymount kind of helped you kind of decide to actually do this and sort of open your eyes to different possibilities that perhaps you wouldn't have thought of had you gone to a traditional Italian school?
I think this is a very good question, and I think yes, the answer is yes. education in an international environment, because Marymount and what was NDI before, it's not only an American school, it's an international school, it's more than an American school. So what I think is that gives you a lot of ability to see things and try to adapt them in your environment. So what I think is it's been a great help, also for English, because at the beginning of our business there was no supplier in Italy. The closest supplier was in, I think, in the Netherlands. There was no one we know. You had to speak to Japanese in English, which is one of the most difficult things, because when Japanese is speaking. But I had classmates that were Japanese, so I remember the accent that they had. I had Mami Kato, I don't know if you remember. She was a very good friend of ours, in class also of the father of Simone. And so it was very useful, very useful. It opens your mind, it allows you to see things, and to be really a citizen of the world. I think is a great thing to be in a school like this.
How do you advertise your business? You make something specific, or now like marketing activities?
We have two advertisements. No. You always need some marketing. You always need some marketing. You have to always keep the people aware of you existing. It's very important. Well, I think we have two lines of advertisement. One is the typical advertisement that you have, big banners in the streets and stuff like that. Radio, which kind of helps, and it's a big help. It was a big help, especially at the beginning. Now everything is moving more to the social side, so internet is very important. And what we have done recently, and I think is a very good idea, is we use our database of clients to remind them that maybe you haven't ordered for 60 days, for 2 months, and automatically an email is sent to you saying, you haven't ordered for 2 months, would you like to make an order? We will give you a discount if you order now. Or maybe remind them when it's their birthday, and we do these automatic tricks that are very useful, and try to keep the demand up. We need to grow every year. This is very important, because as I said before, if you don't go forward, you go backwards. Sorry.
You said that opening a restaurant was very different.
Yeah.
Can you explain that a bit more? Because what made you decide to make that?
To make that step.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the restaurant is an evolution of the food industry. Okay. We started very simple with delivering, then having just a small store where you could take away something that was already prepared, and then you have the restaurant, which is the evolution of all the product. The restaurant does not mean that we don't do takeaway and delivery. Now, in one location, we do all three. So we have 3 channels of business: restaurant, eating in, delivery, and takeaway. We decided to open a restaurant because Italians love to be out. Okay, we are not, in a cold place. Most of the year, except this year, it's been a bit strange, but not a typical year. But it's always nice, so people like to go out. And they wanted to sit down with friends, with family. So we decided it was very important to do restaurants. So now our new model, we've made, of course, some valuation. And the ideal model is to have all 3 of them. And not to have big restaurants. This is another good trick, because if you have too many seats, the restaurant it becomes cold and becomes difficult to fill up. So it's better to see a place that is smaller filled up than to see a big place that is half empty. This is psychologically. There is some companies, for example, the one doing il gelato, quella che sta vicino al Parlamento. Grom, if you see they have a technique, they've done this technique. They've done the area where they give the ice creams in front of the door practically. So it's almost impossible not to have the queue. But then you go there, you say, oh, they have the queue, incredible. It must be the best ice cream in the world. And so you go. So these are good tricks that help your business. We have always restaurant with 40 seats. And people like are fighting, I want to see it, I want to see it. And my wife also is working with us sometimes, she's trying to, like, you know, impossible matching to have everyone eating. But we have people changing. They eat 25 minutes, half an hour for lunch, and then they go, another come. It's very important to have a lively place and food, always food. So yes, a restaurant is not easy, because of course the quantity of people working is very complex. But it's a good challenge. I think if you decide to be in the business, many are trying now. Did you see in Rome? It's incredible. Yeah, it's sushi, not sushi, so many other alternatives. Yeah. Prego, prego.
Your growth strategy, now you've opened up all these restaurants, do you anticipate opening up more restaurants in other cities, or moving in a different direction, or just introducing these 3 channels of distribution in each place? I mean, how do you see
we are making a development for the future, development plan, which is, we have had so many requests, because what happens is people come, also tourists from north of Italy, south of Italy, they come, they taste our product, they love it, they like our format, and they say, could we do it, like franchise it in our locations? But what happens is, franchising is risky, because franchising, you have someone else managing your place. So you remember when I said that you always have to check your operations and not leave someone else doing it? Because the problem is this, your brand is with someone else at that point. If he's a good guy, maybe the restaurant will be successful and you'll make a royalty. But if it's not, it will create a problem and ruin your image. So what we decided to do is to develop by ourselves. Of course, enlarging our team, of course, because we have to replicate the team that we have in Rome outside. So people, instead of moving from one area to the other of Rome, they will have to move from one city to another. And we will do the setup that I was saying before. Restaurant, takeaway and delivery in the same location. So we are hopefully, our idea is to start from Florence, which is also very nice place and very close to Rome. Just 1 hour 15 with the train. So this is the idea. I would also like to develop abroad, but I think there is so much request in Italy, and we are, this is our business for now, and I think we will develop in Italy for now. Hopefully.
Did you say you were in the legal profession?
Yeah, no, I was in finance.
Okay.
Yeah, I did legal studies, but I was in finance. And I don't know, maybe some of you are doing finance, so I don't want to criticize it. But after 3 years of following the stock market and following companies, I said, why do I have to follow someone else's company? I want to do my company, and so that's why I started.
But that gives you a certain financial acumen for setting up a business.
Yeah, of course. It gave me a very good. This is for sure. Also building the business plan was not easy. We did. I didn't tell you this. When we started in 2003, we made a business plan, and there was a concourse for a new project. And we won this concourse, and we got 40,000 euro for financing this project from the Comune di Roma. When the Comune di Roma still had some money. 2003, not now. Now they don't have money even to fill the holes in the streets. But this was a good project that they had. We had 10 projects won. We were the first in top in the chart, and we got 40,000 euro. That's how we started. We didn't have money of our own. I mean, not enough to open a business. And that's even better, because if you are, the problem is if you have a lot of money or someone always helping you, it's not easy to do business. You need to throw yourself and risk your own money. Prego.
How many customers do you usually have a day?
We have approximately 1,300 now a day. 1,300. 1,300. This is approximately the quantity, which is a lot. It's a big responsibility. It's like all Marymount coming every day. We would love, we have so many clients at Marymount coming. And once I go to the restaurant, someone sees, man, you were studying at Marymount, you were studying. It's always nice to see. Or international school like St. George, we have so many coming. It's always a pleasure to see. The funny thing is, when we were doing delivery, the first clients that we had were all international.
Yeah.
There was no Italian. Because Italians say, we buy sushi from delivery, we don't know where this is coming from. Instead, English, American, Germans, French, they were like, okay, no problem, yes, we deliver. So we're very grateful to international. You see, it all comes back, to your question. So it's international community was, 10 years ahead, and so it's very important.
Are you going to do this talk for some of the older students? So one of the things I hear a lot is, when I leave school, I'm going to start my own business. Or I'm going to have my own company. And then they'll say, okay, define a company. Well, it's going to be mine. And it starts off like that. And I think it was, the hard work and the 16, 17-hour days. People don't see that. They only see the end result. They don't see the financing and the business behind the great idea. It's.
I think this is a culture that has to arrive also from the house. The parents have to transfer this. I think this is very important, because if you have parents that work hard and and have professional activities or anything that they have to follow up, you will grow up with that mentality. If not, it's more difficult. Of course, I've done also a nice lecture in the Italian high school in Roma, Giulio Cesare, because they called me for the same thing. There was a big group of students interested in this. And I think it can be inspiring, it can be very useful, but then you have to have also in blood that kind of purpose. I think it's very important. Next year, I don't know, because this period of the year is a bit difficult, but it's nice to have students here and to have, if we organize again, I'll be more than grateful.
Shall I bring the sushi in?
Il protagonista.
Unless anyone's got any other...
No, I'm staying here, so if someone else wants questions.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you everyone. It was very nice.